Mhm. Oh, there he is. Good morning.
Good morning.
You made it past
Sorry?
you made it in past the
Oh,
obstructions.
yeah, not a problem.
They're not severe.
Not as much of a problem as the roundabouts.
Oh, is the roundabout an issue today?
They were pouring concrete this morning,
Oh dear.
which made both lanes, yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. Just think it'll be done soon.
Yes. Yeah.
And our kitchen is going extremely well. The cabinets are almost all in. The floor's done.
Well,
They're coming to measure for the countertop this afternoon.
okay.
So it progresses along.
Yes. Yep.
This guy that is doing the installation is fabulous. He is so good at everything he does. And he's such a nice guy. We are really lucky. Morning, chap.
Good morning. How are
Morning.
you guys?
Hi.
How are
Bill?
you?
Good. Just positioning my cam a little bit so it always during the week it always gets knocked around on top of my monitor here.
Yeah.
Slides and moves and tilts. So uh, I think it's okay. How are you guys?
Good. Good. Our kitchen is coming along well,
Great.
and our boys are starting to arrive today. So
Uh,
I wanted to say no class next week.
Oh, okay.
okay.
I'm taking a week off because our boys are coming one after another uh,
Nice.
with a partner.
Okay.
Where do they live now, David?
Oh, they're both in California.
California. Yeah.
Okay. I knew one of them was. I didn't remember where the other one lived. And last time I asked you was years ago anyway. So
Well, Zach and Hannah are still in San Francisco,
yeah.
and Dylan is based in Grass Valley, but
Wow.
he's been traveling a lot. He's been spending the last couple of winters in New Orleans with his father,
Huh.
and
So how does you said Zach is in the San Francisco area?
what?
You said Zach is in the San Francisco area?
Yeah,
Just real briefly, how does he like that area as a whole?
I think they like it a lot.
Yeah.
They're very happy there, and his work has gone well. He's with a um, continually improving and getting much more popular band, which is
Huh.
making him happy.
Right.
They're coming out with a new recording on Friday.
Wow.
um,
He's a drummer, right?
yeah, in the band, yes. He also plays a number of other instruments very well.
Oh, okay.
He's he's very annoying that way. um, and Hannah has a very good job at a local hospital. She's a nurse now. She went to school there and graduated and got a job in the neurological unit, and they love her. So
Hmm.
I don't think they're likely to leave soon. They've got a great apartment.
Right. So they like the community there. They like the weather there.
Yep.
Cost of living's okay. All that.
Well, the cost of living is high.
Yeah. Well, I know it is in California as a whole, but I didn't know about that area so much.
Oh yeah, that's very high.
Oh, okay.
We could. Jane and I had at Zach's if encouragement considered moving there,
Right.
and we couldn't afford to do it.
Hmm.
So we're not. That's not going to happen,
Yeah.
and so that's why one of the reasons why we've done the kitchen. We're going to stay here,
Right. Right. Okay.
but uh, Dylan's still. He has a lot of his stuff in storage in Grass Valley, and he keeps going back there. But he's just been traveling, visiting friends, going to
Hmm.
concerts, working at various jobs here and there,
Right.
um, making us nervous about his future.
Huh.
But it's his future, and
Right.
so yeah.
Okay.
But he's coming with a girlfriend this time, which is the first time he's ever done that.
Hmm.
Well, not ever, but the, the first one was a long time ago.
Right. Is
So,
it just coincidence that they're both coming around the same time?
yeah, it is kind of.
Yeah.
Um, Dylan and Allie happened to be in Boston for some kind of an event, and so they thought they would come down and visit for a few days. And Zach and
Nice.
Hannah had been planning for quite a while to come uh,
Right.
about this time because that's when she could get a time off. Zach has a little more flexibility in his job, but so their plans were already made, and it just happened that Dylan's coming right before.
Right.
Uh, Generally, we encourage them not to come at the same time.
Yeah.
Um, they get along very well in San Francisco, but sometimes not so well here.
Hmm.
So, anyway,
Okay. Are we recording?
are we recording? We are recording.
Okay.
Doesn't it say so?
I don't see it on mine.
Oh, well, it says it on mine.
I
So,
kind of entered through. I ended up going through an app on here somehow today, so I entered in a different way, which is why I asked you. Normally, I do see it, and I don't see it now.
oh, well, I am.
Okay. Oh, I do see it way up on the top. The bar. It's on the bar. It's not down. So
Yep,
I see it. I do
yep.
have it when I open the bar up.
Oh, good, good. Shh. An ex,
Bonus.
an extra.
Yeah.
So, questions, reports. How's your lengthening going? Is it?
In process. I, 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 I did a couple of things during the week. I didn't have a lot of practice time, but I did a couple of things. But before our class now, I actually reviewed like the 15 or 20 minutes that we were talking about it last class. And I realized that even in my practices last week, did not incorporate Yang. lengthening out on the outside, lengthening in on the inside of the arm. I forgot to incorporate that, just to
Mm.
mention it, anyways. But one thing that I realized, I, I forever have the problem of my fingers kind of being frozen and outright, and I've been working on that forever, and I'm making very slow progress. But when I do focus on lengthening, they naturally fall into line and soften up as well. Um,
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah, so that's a positive step in that regard as well. And I wasn't even thinking about them when I was thinking about lengthening, but I realized that I automatically included everything all the way out to the fingertips, and so that was nice. So just
Great.
wanted to mention that.
Yeah, that was good, Jeff.
Yeah.
Good.
Uh, limited work. Most of it I tried to lengthen, but also go extremely slow,
Good.
with some interesting results. um, I am not ready to even ask questions, but it seemed to increase my sense of what was going on at one time, and at another time get confusing about what was going on and how I was moving. So I was not just slow, but ultra slow,
Good.
almost stopping. Um,
Good.
and it oh, yeah, there were things that I was noticing and questioning, but there were so many of them and so vague that I can't
Mm-hmm.
ask questions. One question I do have in
Yeah.
this in Subdue Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Um, does the energy go into the arms and this is the problem.
Yeah.
When we get to this posture, is there yet another motion before we go up? I know we've talked about.
So going into that
Yes.
it is part of the movement. You don't go to this
Right.
and then do something.
Okay. But when we get there, is that the end
That's
of
when
that?
you go into
Okay.
the end of the kick.
Okay.
So when when you're going from
Yeah.
where are we? High Pat. When we're at High Pat, then you're coming back in and you step and you go to this, but this is all part of the same movement.
Okay.
And one of the things about that one, since we're talking about lengthening too, is that because we form fists, we very often tend to go here and tighten it up.
And that's part of my question. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it would be the only place in the form where that kind of vigorous, action
Yeah.
would be taking
So
place.
one of the things is that you are going into fists and you are expanding there
Okay.
and but lengthening out, which means that you're releasing into this.
Okay. Rather than, yeah.
You're not going into it. Boom.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
not what we're doing
Right.
there.
Okay.
Answer
Yeah.
that
yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else come to your mind, Jeff?
No, but that was a good question that I didn't even think about because it is, it, when you think of forming fists and a potential strike, you do the opposite of releasing. You tighten, and so that I hadn't even thought about that when I flowed the other day through it. So that's interesting.
You know, that is kind of the thing that's hard to understand is we're trying to get to a point where the power comes from the release of the energy,
Mhm.
not from the force of the muscles. Um, and that's really counterintuitive to us. It's a little we have to really work on that. And so, yeah, you have to every time you go into certainly into a fist, but even I'm thinking about um, lift hand. Um, there's a tendency to do the same thing. Um, so it's really hard to not let hardness come into it, and particularly in this form, we're really trying to find softness
Hmm.
and how we release, not how we force. So,
Well, in the same discussion, David, what just comes to mind now is I'm thinking about other forms of Tai Chi, and I think about the Chen style, which has a lot more striking and fists and all that, and it never really occurred to me that there wasn't strength and all in that. That it was, if you watch somebody do it, there's a lot of pushing and that kind of movements and striking potential strikes, anyways.
yep.
I mean, I assume the same principles apply to that, where they are also lengthening and releasing, right?
Well, they do. Um, I think it's more difficult with the Chen style because you're trying because it's caught kind of in the middle between um, kung fu and tai chi.
Okay,
Um, it has a little bit of both. Um,
okay, that
because,
makes sense to me then.
yeah, because the original Chen style form before um, the Tai Chi master walked into the town
Hmm.
um, was a style which came from Shaolin Kung Fu.
Oh, see, I never knew that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
interesting.
and so it was altered because, and boy, I'm blanking on his name, but a Tai Chi master walked into the village one day, and in I think probably some kind of challenges, he demonstrated that he was more powerful than they were,
Huh.
and so they got him to stay and teach for a while,
Wow.
and so it that altered that the Chen style significantly.
Huh.
But it's kind of like if you think about it, the Chen style. I mean, that softened the Chen style. The Yang is softer still, and the Wu is softer still.
Right.
Although the Yang, when it gets to if it gets to its highest level, would probably be just the same in terms of softness. But the way it is, we
Is Wu
usually.
considered the most soft in that spectrum?
I beg your pardon.
Is Wu style considered the most soft of Tai Chi styles?
Um, it it has the greatest potential for it, was how Master Joe put it, um, as well as the greatest potential for developing, because of that, of developing the ability to actually eventually meditate as you're doing the form.
Hmm.
and so it's eventually. I mean, that's also true with the qigong that Bill's working on, God's plane of the clouds, um, which is the most advanced, at least in that particular training series,
Right.
and at its highest level is a form of meditation.
Mm.
So anyway, blah blah blah.
Right.
Um, so did either of you try pausing at the in and out points?
Yeah, I'm not sure I was working on that precisely, but there was a lot of pausing, so
Yeah,
yeah,
there is a lot of pausing
yeah,
if you do that.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I forgot to do that this week, to be honest. I did not do it.
Yeah. So I like you to do 8 gates, but I'd like you to do that in 8 gates. But don't um, you don't have to take a long time. So what I'm saying is, um, to as you go into this, that you come to in and you feel that, and then you go to out and you feel that, and you do in and out, and take the moment
Mm.
anyway to try to actually sense the difference, because the feeling of those two releases is different. The going out is different than the coming in, and yet they are related.
Right.
Integrated. I mean, they are absolutely connected together.
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
So try that. Slow you down a little, but and so of course you're not trying to align your breathing with those movements, but let your breath just be continuous. So in Master Joe's terms, breathing without breathing. Maybe take just a beat more pause, Jeff.
Right.
Remember, there's a pause somewhere in the middle of each transition, Jeff. I want to say to you what Jim and Ching said, or not Jim and Ching, but Master Yang said to some of his students, relax, I'm not going to beat you.
Okay.
Do you know what
I stood for a long time before I started because I was not relaxed
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason. You know, I stood up and I wanted to shake myself, and I got apparently.
That was good.
It's still there, obviously.
Yeah.
Um,
It's it all the way from in your arms. It's all the way from your shoulders to your fingertips.
yeah. This parallels something that came up in practice this week. That when I pay attention to what's going on, that's likely to happen.
Hmm.
And when I don't pay attention, I sense that I'm moving smoothly, more smoothly and freely, but I can't observe it. So as soon as I start observing, then it changes the whole.
Yeah,
thing.
and that's that problem about the difference between thinking and feeling.
Feeling, yes.
Yeah. Do your best.
Which is.
I just wanted to mention it though.
Yeah, well, as I said, I was aware that I was tight. I thought maybe it had loosened up, but not. Okay.
You do the best you can. I just want to make sure you're aware of it.
Yeah.
Remember the midpoints.
Sorry.
Remember the midpoint because you have in
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah,
out.
okay.
Jeff, would you stand up for a minute and face me? You can stay closer to the camera, that's okay. Point to your middle dantian. So, is that the notch at the base of your sternum?
Yep.
Okay. That's the height of that last posture. Not
Uh, was
not
I was that too high or too low? I had my eyes closed for most of it.
you were at heart level, which is what
Uh,
you've already done.
right.
So you have to remember that that's down at that level.
Okay. I was up here more.
Yep.
Okay.
Um, it it really you both seem to me to soften your movements, but particularly after we stopped and talked, it it changed significantly. Um, what's difficult, of course, is that you are also doing bend and extend and twisting and ideally opening and closing also all at the same time. And um, I can understand opening and closing may not be present yet, but um, bend and extend and twisting should be quite natural, I would expect at this point, but I don't see it um, really with either of you. So that's something to be try to be aware of that's all happening, even when you're doing the very minimal movements like that. That that there is everything happening in both directions, and it doesn't have to be big, but it needs to be there. Um, so
Yeah, with me, it's a process. Yeah, it's just a product of my focusing on something else, and
yeah.
yeah,
And what does that mean
practice.
exactly? Because all it means is that you haven't practiced
Enough for
the
it to be
the other things
built
enough
in.
that they
Yeah, yeah.
can. Um, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guilty of the same offense. Yes.
it's not an offense. It's just that
I
In the
we
practice
should
court,
also say. Go ahead, Jeff.
I just said in the court of practice, it is an offense. Jokingly speaking, but yes, it's and I understand it. It is because there's been times in my life when I did practice literally every day, and
Yeah.
I know the difference, and I'll
yeah.
get back there at some point. I know that too.
I the other thing that I think particularly for you, Jeff, that it's important to remember is that practicing even for a few minutes
Yeah,
is better than none.
yeah,
If you practice
absolutely.
well for 5 minutes, that's better than doing
Right,
empty practice for an hour.
right. And I do keep that in mind. You're right. Um, but that is true.
Because we all have 5 minutes.
Mm, yep.
Um, and so it is surprising sometimes what you accomplish um, if you do a little bit each day.
So given that, David, what do you think as far as where I am right now with everything, give me two things that you would say are good 5 to 10 minute exercises, two different things to work on. Because I'm doing certain things, maybe I'm not doing what is most effective or most needed at this point.
Um, any number of things. Uh, one thing I would say is just doing some of the 8 gates the way you just were doing it,
Right.
not worrying about doing the whole thing.
Okay.
Um, I didn't watch the clock, so I have no idea how long that took. But maybe you only do a couple of movements in 5 minutes. That's fine.
Mm,
That's better than none.
right. Right.
Um, just focusing for 5 minutes on grasping sparrow's tail and single whip. Um,
Okay.
or even just grasping sparrow's tail. I mean, it's
Right. And then single whip in another short practice.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, so it's just not. We have to get out of our minds this um, concept that we sort of all have, and believe me, I've been through it too. I speak from experience that if I'm practicing, I have to do a flow.
Mm,
Well, no, you don't.
right.
You have to practice. And practice does not necessarily mean a flow. It's great if you have time for a flow.
Mm,
Wonderful. But the other work is equally important. Because if we're just grabbing time for a flow, very often we don't do it very well anyway.
yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, enough of lecture.
Okay.
I don't mean to be too negative here. You guys have certainly made progress, and I'm not belittling that. Um, I really hope I'm trying to encourage you.
Yeah, of course.
Yes,
After all these years, I
you
fully
do.
understand
Yeah.
your position and your encouragement, and you do it well. So,
Okay, thank you.
You have infinite opportunities to criticize and complain, which you don't take. So,
So in doing that, did you have any ahas or questions or anything come up?
Bill,
no,
do you want to go? Yeah, I wanted to, I couldn't tell if Bill was ready to start talking or not. I wanted to tell him to go ahead if he wants to.
Okay,
okay.
go ahead.
Just one thing, it's not actually part of the 8 gates, but I mentioned Foem last week and whether it was lengthening. I had always assumed that since it's a dropping, a letting go, that it would be lengthening out, and you said no, lengthening in.
Sung is a constant. It's not.
Well, okay.
Constant sung is a state of being, not a form of movement.
Okay, right. But once I stand and then
Becomes sung.
becomes Foem, that process at the very beginning is that I have always felt that it was going out, and you seem to suggest, and I was just
Um, but
that
I
it's a
think I was
gathering.
suggesting in because our tendency is to go out
Okay.
physically.
Okay.
Sung is a releasing in and establishing a soft, open, aware, present structure.
Okay. So I did practice releasing in as I began standing, and
Mm.
that did feel different.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh, going into whatever I was doing.
Yeah.
So,
And the thing is that Sung makes it, if you can achieve Sung, which like everything else is a lifelong process, but as you get better and better at Sung, it makes it easier and easier to do the other elements, particularly lengthening. Um, so, Jeff?
I'll get closer to the mic. So, as I had mentioned last week, I began to feel when we did the lengthening 8 gates, I began to feel more in my fingertips and
Mm-hmm.
so forth. And I kind of felt the same thing when I did it during the week. This flow in particular, with the stopping and the focusing on not even aligning my breath, which I've always done, I felt even more so in at least four, maybe five of the postures of the energy of connecting with the energy, whether my hands were down and I was connecting with the earth through my fingertips, or up here connecting with whatever that was,
Mm-hmm.
but a connection and tingling and pulsing more so than usual. Um,
Good.
so I feel it's just a continuation on the road that I started to explore last week when we were focusing on the lengthening in the 8 gates and all, really primarily for the first time. So, but
Good.
it was definitely even this one. I not only did I feel connection down to the earth, but I was feeling connection between the back of my hands, which I have never felt before
Ah, yeah.
doing that posture. That was a first for me. So that's just kind of indicative of taking the step forward that I felt today.
Yeah, good. Good. Great. Yeah. So, um, taking this idea into the form, we were looking at grasping sparrow's tail and single whip last
Mm.
week, if I remember right. Um, and and in effect doing the same thing. Um, letting yourself go very slowly and take those pauses and really feel the lengthening in and out. Because as I said in the form, it doesn't, it's not that nice regular pulse.
Mm.
It's irregular. It's whatever is required by the posture, and so it is in a constant irregular change, which actually is exactly what we need to learn about life. So try that. Just doing that much, um, and just to let yourself get into it. Do it 3 times.
really puts a focus on where the transitions are.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Duh. It must not be at 100% because I'm not doing a completely empty step, which is
True.
why I've started over a couple
And
of times.
it looks like you're moving from your chest and not your dantian.
Okay. So the out starts right here when I move.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And grows.
Hmm?
And grows.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, interesting. Excuse me, let me just try to see what I'm doing here. Your 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 Lou that last time was the best I've ever seen you do it.
Ah, why?
Because you didn't go backwards. You actually shifted to 100% and allowed the follow step to come forward and stayed at 100%. It was that was wonderful.
Well, good. Thank
It was nice to see that you could do it. I was
you. Had lost hope.
No, I hadn't lost hope. That's one of the things. I never lose hope. um, so, Jeff, I felt you were a little unsure about where to make the changes. Um,
I didn't think I was. I thought I understood them, but um, I mean, if you have specific ones that you want to point out, that would be good.
yeah, and
I will say that my take on what I just did is I felt way too often like my structure wasn't good.
mm,
Sacrificed it in so to find the lengthening in and out and softening that I was trying to find, I let my structure go too much of the time. I need to find the proper middle ground for that.
mm-hmm.
That's what I took out of that, anyways.
um, yeah, I think there was. I think that was probably true. Um, Trying to think that.
I may have, I probably muddied the second releasing or lengthening in
G.
yeah, that's that okay in G before we yes. That I
F.
that I was fumbling with too.
Yeah.
For the same reason, I felt like my structure was already not good, and I was trying to draw in a little bit again, and it felt awkward. So maybe that was
Yeah.
part of it.
Um, I think one of the things to remember, and particularly for you too, is that there is circularity, there is hemisphericalness, ideally, in every movement.
Right.
They're not this way. So that even when you're coming to this, there is a roundness to it. And when you're going to G, that in is circular, and that the out is circular. It's not this way.
Okay.
So yeah, yes, there is a very slight bend and extend in it, but it's not a major part of the movement. You don't have time for
Yeah.
it to be a major part of the movement.
Yeah.
And when you go to Lu, it's the same thing, except that you've gone out, and then you go out a little more, and then you come in, and in, and then you go out. And notice that my elbows are circling. through those movements. They're not just linearly going this way.
Yeah.
And I felt, at least for Bill, and I guess I wasn't noticing this real clearly with you, Jeff. So, single whip, you come in and out and in and out. So notice that last in, after you've gone out, is just the step. That's all it is. It's not out, in, out. That is very quick. It's like going into G. So you completed this here, and it's in. And notice that I come in a bit toward. I am bending in, and I'm extending out. And I'm bending in and out. Yeah.
So I'm putting a move, a distinct move in there.
Yeah.
Instead of having it be a passage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the in is very quick. It's just during the step.
Okay. I was definitely and have been definitely lacking the circularity in G with the rounding of the elbows, and I've definitely been very linear with that,
Yeah.
which I think is part of what I've just tried to lump into the category of losing my structure. Well, if I was more rounded, I would keep that structure better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that's a great, just that much is a really great little practice.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a short one.
Right.
It keeps coming up every week.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have 2 weeks to play with all of this. So.
Yeah, the following week we're going to be in Maine.
Oh, okay.
So Jeff, you will have a solo lesson. On,
When's that? 2 weeks from now?
Yeah.
The
Okay.
10th. Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you going to be in Maine?
Round Pond. It's near Bristol. Halfway between Freeport and Rockland.
Uh-huh.
On one of the peninsulas. Yeah, we always go for waterfront. So.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, well, have a delightful time.
Yeah.
I'll be jealous. Okay, I'm going to let you go at this point.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great couple of weeks, and I'll see you in 2, Jeff. And
Yep. Have a nice trip, Bill, David. I hope you have a good time with your family.
I will.
Nice to hear. And your kitchen.
The kitchen's going great.
All right. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
I'll see you in the morning.
Yes. Yeah.
And I hope the roundabout is better now.
Yeah.